Howdy there, folks. Kirk and Jason Giordano here. What we're going to show you today is how to match this unusual texture. This is actually Jason's side job. I'm helping him out with it. He wanted to show you guys how to put the texture, but I can't work that camera. So I get to do what I do best. Now, we came here, we're running out of daylight, obviously, so we slammed this out in like a half hour. This is about 1.5 inches thick. Standard stucco is 3/4. When you go with a color coat, 7/8. Sometimes we get jobs like this where his shear was 3/8 and the regular wood was 3/4, so we had to make up for it. So we have accelerators in here. So the accelerators speed up the drying. Anyway, we're very thick, and I'll show you how we match these finishes here. All right, guys, here's the things what you'll remember if you're going to match a texture like this. Usually we'll see a texture like this and it'll look like a seagull. I've seen a lot of those. Or it'll be like, say, somebody will put a trowel in, start at say 9 and run all the way to 3 o'clock position, or start at 9 and run to 12 o'clock position on the clock. This fella here, he just put them random every which way, but that's nothing we can't match. And how this guy did it is, I'll show you. I can see where he pushed in hard here. He pushed in hard here, then he loosened up. Pushed in hard here, then he loosened up. He even came this way a few times because wherever the deepest impression is, that's where he started. So anyway, this is the base coat now. So what I'm going to do is, can you get up close to see how grainy this is, Jay? I mean, this is a very, very, very heavy float finish. That means it's very gritty. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to follow his contours. And generally what I'll do is I'll follow the certain ones first. That way when we float everything, when we get to doing the center, they all look like, say here, I'll match that one. Here, I'll match that one. We try to match a few first. Okay, now that I've matched a few, now I'm going to just do what he did. He started here. He went some half circles. He went this way. He went that way. I'm looking at his work, not my trowel. See, I look at his work. I don't need to look at the wall. We've got a few little S shaves. Again, I've been doing this so long, I'll look at his wall and not what I'm doing. But once this sets, and again, we're running out of daylight, it's the end of the day. I figure with the amount of mud we have on here right now, another 15 minutes is going to be hard as a rock. So I'm going to clean that plank so I don't have to sit in wet mud and continue with this. This isn't the final finish, far from it. Once I get the whole thing done, I'm going to take it down. Then I have the luxury of just standing around for a little while. I'm going to take a sponge float, a green sponge float with a lot of water, and bring the aggregate out. I'm going to bring the sand out by sponge floating it and feathering these joints. So when we get to that stage, we'll show you the actual sponge float, because it's kind of cool to see how it's done. Okay guys, we're at a stage now. I think we got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes worth of daylight left. So what I generally do is, I did my top, but I did it off a bucket. I don't like folks to see that because they might try to do it and step on a bucket and fall off and say, hey, I seen Kirk do it. Anyway, bottom's done, top's done. I'm taking my sponge float. This has got water in it, look. Water. Tap some out, flip it around, tap some out. Now, what we want to do is get that joint first. Get the joint so it doesn't fall off. The joint is, if you can feather a joint well, that's half the battle right there. And again, I could put some marks in the wall with this float, but I prefer to let it set with the trowel first. For example, if I go hard, you see I can put a mark there. But we're pretty set here and there. Anyhow, this is what we do. Now, if you're observing, because you say, man, I got to finish like that, I want to try to get that, I'm going to run out of water in a minute. Okay, this float is dry now. If I keep using it, I'm going to drag the stucco right off. So here we go. Put more water in it. More water. Got to keep dipping it in the water. When you start to drag it, that means you got too much stucco in the float. And that's how we do it, guys. You can, depending on what you got there, you can dig this heel in just like that. Go upward. Look what you're matching always, and pull some to the actual joint too. That way it feathers in a little bit nicer. This is a difficult texture to tie in, but we're pretty good at it. Anyhow, you get the idea. We have a mountain right here. We're in El Cerrito. We got Oakland Hills here, and the sun is down off that mountain, so we've got to really get cleaned up. Generally what I like to do is pull everything down and show you the complete finish, but I don't have that luxury because I got a mixer and I don't have my tail lights for it, and I got to get out of here. So anyhow, just like that, and this is what you call an adobe, kind of a Humpty finish. Real simple if you know how to do it. Time consuming, but you got to know what you're doing, guys. Anyhow, Jay and I thank you for watching, and as usual, guys, have a great day.